Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Trying something. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another. Hello, everyone. Back again. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Hello. Welcome back. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Hello, everyone. Welcome back for some. Hello, everyone. We're back. Hello, everyone. Back again with some more. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Hello, everyone. Welcome back for some. Hello, everyone. Welcome back for some. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to some. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to some. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Hello, everyone. Welcome back for some. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to LoFi Yoga, where sometimes it's a good idea to look back at it. I'm not going to take a deep breath in, but you are welcome to do so if you'd like. So, Mercury is currently still retrograde, and retrogrades for me I'm always looking back these days, trying to figure stuff out and, re-examine, reevaluate. And I think it's fitting that after a year of posting videos, it happens to be a retrograde. It's the perfect timing for me. And also, I just saw that Yoga with Cassandra is at her 10-year anniversary for her channel, which I think is funny because when I first started doing yoga by myself, I was watching her videos, and yeah, it's pretty cool. But it was honestly really difficult to sit and watch my own videos just to try to find like little clips to put together. It's just cringing at the sound of my own voice and like the messed up audio that I was throwing up there, and the execution of the moves themselves. Just, I was learning and am learning, but it was hard to watch sometimes. There are definitely a few videos that I just kind of like muted, and yeah, I guess that's human to not like the sound of your own voice, or like not want to see yourself. But you'd think after a year it would be no big deal, and it is, but watching the earlier videos were really hard because it's just like, ugh. Why are you doing that? Why did you say that? That's not how you do it. But that is how you learn things, is by doing them and watching yourself in retrospect, making ridiculous mistakes. But I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I started, and I'm glad that I still have this thing. I mean, you guys have watched me through how many moves? Two different moves, and all of the obstacles behind the scenes of trying to actually get a video made that you guys have no idea about, but I still did it. I think at this point I have like 62 videos, something like that. That's that's pretty good. That's one for every week. Even if it wasn't every week, it still counts. But yeah, I did it. I showed up. And I'm amazed. I give you this to think about. Because true belonging only happens when we present our authentic and perfect selves to the world, our sense of belonging can never be greater than our level of self-acceptance. Brené Brown. We pray for a wholeness of the spirit, to be able to live cleanly with no shame, and to meet every aspect of life with the same serene face. It isn't easy for most of us. We fuss, we trip ourselves up. We may find ourselves telling lies, creating emotional turmoil to escape what we see as even greater turmoil. The first step towards wholeness is for us to admit that we are human. No, not perfect. Yes, about as flawed as everybody else. Once we embrace the knowledge that we are all imperfect beings seeking belonging, a lot of falsehood and turmoil shears away. Robert Frost said, "The best way out is always through." While I was meditating the other day, the one phrase that kept returning to my mind was, "Keep going." I'm sure I'm not alone in feeling like the space between who you are right now and who you want to become is like twice the size of the Grand Canyon. But the amazing thing about being alive is that no matter how far you have to go to get there, if you keep moving in that direction, you will eventually get there. David Bowie said, "I find only freedom in the realms of eccentricity." Doing things is just a lot easier when you don't care about the outcome. Your hair or your makeup looks perfect right before you go to shower. Or you do something perfectly a dozen times, and then the one time you go to show someone, you can't do it anymore. When was the last time you did something just because it made you happy? Not thinking about who would see and say something mean. Not considering if it's something you're good enough at to be seen attempting it. Without once letting the thought of whether you look the way you're supposed to look in order to do this thing. Learning new things comes down to putting in the hours. Time is the thing that really makes you great. Imagine how many things you would be good at if you actually gave yourself time. If you aren't afraid to look like a quote-unquote weirdo, you can do anything and everything. I want you to think about 3 I am statements. Now imagine that they are facts, and what you say is the truth. What 3 things do you want to be true about yourself? As I said in the beginning of the video, I was doing a read-through of The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, and it struck me that all of the characters keep repeating what they aren't, in spite of the fact that they are proving the exact opposite. I myself tend to do that, and I bet you, as a person, also do the same. There's probably something that you say, "Oh, I'm not good at this," or "I'm not that kind of person," and other people would look at you like you were crazy if they heard you say it because it's wrong. So let's sit with our thoughts for a moment and try to break through any barriers we have around the things that we think of ourselves. Bringing to mind the quote from A.A. Milne, "You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think." I know what I've been through, and after all that, I should at least give myself somewhere soft to land. No one is ever going to love me the way that I love me. It should be the deepest, most sincere love I know. I deserve that after everything. I know I'm not perfect, but my mistakes don't have to define me. All the things I see that I'm quote-unquote missing or simply not capable of are the things that make me the person I am at my core. So there is this concept of unintentional consequences, and it kind of has a negative connotation, and I feel like there is a positive side to unintentional consequences. I guess I could refer to it as unintentional benefit. So if we think about bees and how they move from flower to flower to collect pollen and nectar for themselves, they're actually unintentionally pollinating those same flowers and creating more. And I see that in my own yoga practice, that I have unintentional goodness that comes from me building up my strength and my flexibility, and I know that the physical benefits are just one part of what comes from my practice, and I also am aware of the internal benefits, where I develop my sense of grace with myself and acceptance of myself, as well as my current abilities. We're going to be focusing our attentions toward personal goals and, most importantly, celebrating them. Not only goals that we're working towards, but the ones we don't share when we reach them, or maybe ones we've missed because we were too busy trying to survive, or the ones we didn't recognize as goals in the moment. As I approach the anniversary of one of my own personal, quiet goals, I can't help but look back. There are certain things that a person lives through that splits their life into a before and after. At some point, or multiple points, our own lives will be struck by lightning in such a way that it divides it right down the middle like a tree. Recently, I have begun referring to these moments as a personal New Year. The ending point of one story in particular was the moment that I chose as my before and after. Everything after felt as though it took place in a complete somewhere else. Everything before felt like an oozing wound I was trying to avoid touching. Everything before felt like something I needed poles, special shoes, and RTE meals to climb my way out of and away from. Everything, even the quote-unquote bad, after feels gilded in a haze of gratitude and disbelief. It's always been so easy for me to blame myself for the things that happened to me, and of course I am responsible for knowingly tolerating repeated disrespect. I know now for certain that I deserved better, and I'm sorry for the version of myself that had to go through the process of figuring that out. I owe her so much, but most especially, I owe her the work of learning to listen to myself the first time. I owe her the benefit that comes from trusting myself to know what I know the first time. I am perceptive and aware, and more than capable of seeing the intentions of those around me. The reason I got hurt the way I did was because I did not believe in what I saw. I was hurt not by a lack of foresight, but a lack of faith in that foresight. I owe myself for the pain of the most personal of all betrayals. I owe myself a lifetime of nothing but unconditional trust in what my inner truth reveals to me. On the days when fear rises up and pretends to be that intuition, I will do the work required to have the ability to discern the difference. I owe that much, at least, to the girl who had to live through the before, so that I could survive my way through to the after. Along with your thoughts for a bit, I invite you to use this time to reflect on the goals you may have achieved while too busy to acknowledge them. The ones you didn't know were goals, or the ones that haven't even happened yet. Is there something you missed celebrating while you were making your way from a before to an after? This one's for August 9th. There are many sham diamonds in this life which pass for real, and vice versa. Many real diamonds which go unvalued. That is from W.M. Thackeray. It's high praise to say that someone is genuine, the real thing. We use the image of jewelry when we talk about character. Pure gold, 14 karat, rings true. A diamond of the first water. A pearl. The qualities of beauty and rarity make gems precious to us, and by using the same language to describe people, we imply that real personal worth is equally beautiful and equally rare. Yet it's within everyone's grasp. We all agree on the valuable character traits: honesty, loyalty, openness, courage, humor, and the capacity for love. Everyone has them, and everyone can have them. Imitations won't do. Right at the top, it says, "Candor is king." I would rather be seen for who I am as a whole than liked or respected for a facade. At the end of all things, whether you wear a cape and live your life like Superman, or you tripped, slipped, and fell face first into the grave, you still feed the exact same earth. It's far more exhausting to maintain this image of having it all in place than it is to just be honest about who you are. People have a harder time lying to someone who is always honest. People who don't like it tend to be ones who can't bring themselves to ever be honest. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. No one knows how many steps it takes to travel 1,000 miles, because when you're on a journey like that, you don't count each step. Embarking on a journey that long means you surrender yourself to the passing sights. It means you let each step be exactly what it is, one part of a whole. The journey of 1,000 miles is better appreciated in random moments when you look up and realize that you're so much further than the place you began. It's appreciated in those moments where you surface for air before going back down to continue on your way. As you make that journey of 1,000 miles, let this moment be a time to resurface. Let this moment be a time to look back and appreciate how far you stand from the place that you began. Don't calculate how much you've done or how far you have left to go. Just appreciate how far you've made it as you moved step by step, mile by mile, on this road. I never thought I would be where I am right now, and maybe you feel the same. Maybe you're exactly where you imagined you would be. Either way, look around and take in every little thing you see. Soak up how you feel as you look back. Open your arms to embrace this win. As you feel the breath move through your body, let the feeling of pride follow its path. As you breathe out, say the words out loud. I did it. The best version of yourself is not only the one that succeeds, it is the one brave enough to try. I've come a long way in my year. I know it's not that impressive, and I know most of my videos are me doing the same postures, but the reason why I'm doing that, I am trying to incorporate new ones, but the reason why I keep doing the same postures is so that I can go back to my earlier videos and I can make a comparison and say, because I get in my head a lot and I'm like, oh, I'm not progressing, I'm not doing anything, I feel like I'm just in the same place. But then looking back, I see how much I've grown and how much I've improved, and it gives me a reminder. It offers me a little more perspective that I didn't have before. While we're germinating, I have something here that could focus your thoughts on. Progress over perfection. Reaching my goal is never as important as the progress I make toward it. I am finally in a place where I can embrace myself as I strive for better. I came from a place of urgency, which meant I had to get good fast. I came from a place where the weight on my shoulders felt like it increased ×2 each day. I came from a place that I did not choose. Now, I have the time to be a beginner. I am allowed to make as many mistakes as I need to learn something new. I no longer have to hit the ground running. I can have a careful and steady start. I will not worry about how long it takes to get there. I will simply enjoy my walk. It states, "May the new week come to us for health, life, and all good. May it bring us sustenance, good tidings, deliverance, and consolations." Women's Sabbath Prayer. Our life constantly renews itself. We celebrate the new year, the new week, the new seasons. New babies, new jobs, new homes give us occasion for rejoicing. The reunions with old friends and family, the strengthening of old bonds, reminds us of other cycles of renewal. For some women, their menstrual cycle provides a silent rhythm of renewal. Some people chart their biorhythm, hoping to tap the life cycle energy that powers the universe. Recovery from an illness, completion of a long project, or harvesting a garden can remind us of the rhythms of life. When we are at the end of a cycle, we sometimes forget that renewal always comes. When our energy ebbs, when all the trees are bare, it can be hard to believe that warmth will return. I'll never smile again, we think. The sun's gone out. Nothing is worthwhile. Depression is part of the cycle for some of us, and like hibernations or the shedding of foliage, it permits us to gather our strength for the next creative leap. When things look bleak, I will remember that change and renewal are a law of life. Now is a good time to pause and take note of how much you have accomplished during this practice. In those moments where you felt like you were stuck running on low energy, there is always more within you. There is always more available from the universe. In those moments of your life where you feel like you might not make it to that next step, think of this moment and remember that there is always more. There is always so much more. I realize that I need to incorporate some of that in my own life, and I have to be my own Bob Stokey and sort of get out of that mindset of having, seeing things that aren't going well, and instead try to find the positive in it. Just wanted to take a moment to, this is mostly for me, of course, as always, to acknowledge how far I've come, how far my body has carried me in this crazy journey called life. I often find myself, focusing on my goals, and there's nothing wrong with having goals, of course, and aspirations. You should. It gives your life direction, gives you something to work toward. But what I found myself doing was just focusing on goals. And once I accomplished a goal, I would just move forward on to the next thing. Like, what else can I do? What else do I have left on my list? And I never really took an opportunity to acknowledge how that I accomplished my goal. I never celebrated. I never, gave myself a pat on the back. So I wanted to use my practice, a nice slow yin practice, to get into that wave. Talk about meeting yourself where you are. And that can be a hard thing for people, and it used to be very difficult for me, especially coming from a place of extreme perfectionism that I existed in for so long. And I can honestly say being your own worst critic has its advantages in that when someone tries to hurt your feelings or be mean to you and say, oh, you're this, in your head you're like, well, I've already told myself that at 3 a.m. many, many times before you came along. I'm well aware of that. And while that's great, it's kind of not great to be coming from a place of saying you can't tear me down because I already tore myself down first. It's not very kind to yourself. It's not healthy. I could say the opposite end of that, is being able to look in the mirror and say, no, I'm not perfect, but this is where I am and it's okay. I will never be perfect. All I have is who I am right now, and that's going to be good. And, I can say that it's something that I've recently added to my toolkit of existence, and it's been nice to have because it's given me this sense of peace that I've never had before, because it's literally me saying, I don't have everything that I want, and I may never have everything that I want, but I can still be happy with what I do have, because I do have a lot of things. So, something that might be good to do right now, something that I plan on doing later today, is listing ways that I feed my soul. What are things that I do each day that are just for me? And that's not regular self-care stuff like bathing, eating, that stuff. It can count, but I feel like there needs to be a little more. That's just not enough. You really do need to have a thing that you do. So, something to meditate on. What are the things that you do every day that are just for you and that are things that feed your soul? And if you can't come up with anything, what are small shifts that you can make to encourage the feeding of yourself? What are some things that you're doing or tasks that you have taken on that maybe you can let go of or put down to make room for yourself? Is there something that you are doing or holding space for that doesn't benefit you? As I always say at the end of these, thank you so much for sitting with me, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Be well.